Hi, I'm Bhante Sujato. Welcome to Dhamma Threads, and I'm here with Simon Power. We're going to be discussing a verse from the Theragatha verses of the Senior Monks, and you can read this verse on Sutta Central if you like. For this session, the verse is 1.104, Kittaka. And the word Kittaka means something like from a root meaning to float up or to be tossed up or something like that. So Kittaka means something like floaty or sort of elevated or something like that. So, here's the verse. Hey, my body is light, full of so much rapture and happiness. My body feels like it's floating like cotton on the wind. So this is a very beautiful and very distinctive verse, yeah, and it really is one of those verses that captures that sense of like almost surprise and enthusiasm of somebody when they encounter these meditation experiences. The word I've translated as hey here is in Pali is vata. And the word vata is actually more normally associated with sad context. Actually, it's kind of an emotional interjection, which you kind of put into Pali phrases to sort of give it more feeling, but in itself it's kind of neutral. So it's often used like anicca vata sankhara, alas, all conditions are impermanent, right? But here obviously is meant in quite a joyous sense, right? Sort of surprise. This is something that in your meditation path, something happened to me many times when you're meditating, and then something happens, and maybe you do feel like your body's floating, or your mind becomes very peaceful, or something like that. And there's almost this feeling of like, wow, that's amazing that such a thing could happen. It's like maybe you might have read about it or heard about it or something, but then when you actually experience it in yourself, it's very kind of thrilling, quite exciting. And that's I think an aspect of meditative experience which I think is quite important and quite common, but is not necessarily talked about or reflected so often in the meditation texts. So here, I think like so many of the other Theragatha verses, is I think interesting and sort of persuasive, if you like, because it speaks from that voice of genuine experience. He's not kind of talking about a Buddhist doctrine or anything like that, but he's conveying what his own meditation experience was like. So, Simon, what did you think about this verse?
The first thing that drew me to this verse, I have to say, was the very informal hey, and I enjoyed being spoken to by this voice from the very distant past, and also really enjoyed reading the text, which is very joyous and celebratory, and speaks to an aspect of meditation that I've experienced a little bit, this joy and happiness and this peace that comes. And I enjoyed reading the metaphors, floating, cotton on the wind, and it seems to me to speak of a really beautiful experience in meditation that I suppose is something that one aspires to. We kind of want these, for better or for worse, want these good experiences. And it seemed to me that this was a kind of message to the people of the Buddha's time. Hey, this is a good thing.
Sure.
Give it a go.
And also kind of reminds us of this different attitudes towards the body in the Buddhist texts, right? Because in some of the Buddhist texts, the body gets a pretty bad rap, right? It's like this body is foul and disgusting and impermanent and a nest of diseases, and it's going to keep it. But then there's a whole bunch of other texts which talk about the blissful experience in your meditation of experiencing the rapture and the bliss through your body and feeling like floating and so on. And that's not marginal by any means. I mean, Kaya Passaddhi is one of the standard sort of stages, bodily tranquility, standard stages in developing meditation, and the descriptions of meditative experience are full of this kind of idea of feeling bliss and rapture throughout your whole body.
And is this talking about a particular meditative state?
Yeah, hard to say. I mean, I don't think so. I think it's there's a kind of a range of experiences that you can have that kind of feel like that.
The use of cotton reminded me of the Buddha's descriptions of jhanas.
That's true, yeah. Although it's used in a different way in the descriptions of jhanas, it's usually used in a sense of an immanent sense, where the cloth is something like is pervaded with water or something like that. So the idea is like soaking through and saturating through, whereas here the imagery is more like being kind of tossed around, the lightness of it.
Yeah. But all the words and all the imagery really creates very light and very happy.
Yep.
And it stuck out to me.
Yeah.
There's some celebratory verses, but this one in particular seemed so wonderfully joyful.
Meditation doesn't have to be hard work. Yeah.
Good.
Good. Thanks a lot, Simon.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you for joining us for Dhamma Threads, and I'll see you for the next session.